show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, guys, it's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV Live. We're here and we're talking about more word on the canvas. So yes, hope you're all well. Hope you gonna enjoy your weekend. Some interesting news, coming out this week. More things coming about. So we're just gonna get into a couple of things, the latest and greatest. I won't spend too long. Hopefully just keep it nice and wrapped up, quite compact. So yes, first things first. You'll probably notice by the thumbnail where I've said deal or no deal. So we'll go through the main two topics here. So first off, Ben Whittaker, he signed with Matchroom Boxing from even the Olympics. Eddie Hearn was very keen to sign him. I heard that a deal was already done, a promo video already got made. This is, back then with the Olympics. But then Ben Shalom with Boxer, they managed to, at the final hour, strike a deal which was, a better offer, bigger offer, but, with Sky budget, they was able to secure Ben Whittaker, the likes of Fraser Clark and stuff like that. Most of them said paying over the odds, but it is what it is. I remember from even June the 21st, Ben Whittaker was sat with Eddie Hearn at a show with, what's his name, Sam Jones, and one of the Matchroom staff sort of in between them, and people's like, what's Ben Whittaker doing at the Matchroom show? Eddie Hearn's always said that he would love to sign Ben Whittaker if he can, interested in getting him. So when people saw that, they thought, oh. And then even on the 23rd, Eddie Hearn was interviewed, and he was saying, I had an interesting conversation with Ben on Saturday night. They said, are you going to sign with him? Is he going to sign with you? He said, well, can't talk about any of that, or I don't know, but just saying I had an interesting conversation. Subsequently, we've seen this month now, this week, Ben Whittaker's done a promo video with Eddie Hearn. They was doing about all about the Benjamin Show Me the Money, with what's his name, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise. So yeah, very good promo video. I found it quite funny. The Jerry Maguire scene, I found it very funny. Some people, from certain demographics, they found it offensive and cringe and stuff like that. But I don't. Maybe if you watch the film, then you'd get it. If you haven't, you'd think, well, what's this all about? But it's interesting that, Ben Whittaker was like, say, I love this black man. I love black people. And, Eddie Hearn, he went along and said, I love black people. But as Malcolm X said, by any means necessary, you got to get that deal done. And it's interesting, it is Black History Month. Talking about Black History Month, I need to do a Black History Month boxing special. I did one 2 years ago. I was meant to do one last year, didn't get round to it. So I've still got the actual names. I've got the subject. I've got the, the area matter, sort of what I'm going to do is like a region. It's going to be different to the norm, but still conventional in a sense. So hopefully get a couple of the knowledgeable people to help to assist with that project. So I'm looking forward to it. But yes, Eddie Hearn's words were, he's phenomenal. This is the greatest signing to make in boxing today. Ben Whittaker is a generational talent, and we are ready to take his career to the next level. I believe they can take his career to the next level. As we know, Matchroom is a global brand with various sports, but especially in boxing, Eddie Hearn has been very bold and brave heading over to America. So, putting him out in America where they love all that showmanship, from Hector Camacho, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather. They love Prince Nassim out there. They love the razzle dazzle, Sugar Ray Leonard and all that. So they love all that showmanship and showboating. They appreciate it more than the British public, who are a bit more conservative and wanted to, oh yeah, be gentlemen, and I'm just going to try my best, type of malarkey. So I think he'll be appreciated more over there. Remember, when James DeGale won his world title, he decided he's going to go over to America, and that's where he made his millions when he signed with PBC Al Heyman and made some very good bank, as they say, fighting out there in the States. So I think Ben will make some very good money out in the States. Matchroom have got the likes of Khalil Cole, Galagos, and some other fighters out there as well. Or you can get some guys from Canada. Um, I remember when even a fight with, say, and it'd be an interesting one, when you're talking about this topic. I remember October Red and Maestro, they're still debating about, can Ben Whittaker beat David Morrell Jr. Well, if you look at how, I know styles make fights and amateurs and pros is different, but Ben Whittaker played with Imam Katiev when they fought in the Olympics. He dealt with him easy. Katiev couldn't even lay a glove on him, whereas we saw Katiev drop David Morrell, and I thought he won the fight, but they gave Morrell the decision. So that, you could get Ben Whittaker a fight like that in about 2 or 3 bouts. With Katiev, I think he'd still be able to make him miss relatively with ease, and that would really propel his career. Some people have mentioned getting him in with Dan Aziz. I'm not sure who he signed with at the moment, so maybe he's a free agent. I know he fought in Nigeria the other day. Some said Craig Richards, get him in with with Willie Hutchinson in a 5 versus 5. I've heard people mention that for Ben Whittaker. There's Queensbury guys, Ezra Taylor, Louis Edmondson, I think, Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard. There's loads of guys. So the world is his. There's even guys like Stephen Ward. There's a couple other guys. Where's my? I had a list. Here. One second, guys, because there's the ranking system. But whilst we're on that, when I was watching it, also with Ben Whittaker, they're looking to get him out in November the 21st in Birmingham. Matchroom have announced they've got a show in Birmingham for November 21st. They want to get Ben Whittaker out there. Great start there. Get him to his local people, his local public, the West Midlands. They'll all come out in force. And that's a great start, I think. And then, November, so that will be him for the rest of the year. And then from 2026, you really go for a push there. And I think definitely get him out in America, which I believe someone like Eddie Hearn would do. But yeah, like the British guys for him, there's Lerone Richards, there's Carol Itorma, there's Michael Allen Flannery, who's based himself out of Bangkok for some reason, but he's 13-1. He got beat by Albert Ramirez. So yeah, he could get in there. And then, as I said, well, there's Jerome Pampalone, Mark Jeffers, but he'll probably go down to super middle. Dan Aziz, Ezra Taylor, Craig Richards, Willie Hutchinson, Zach Parker, Anthony Yard, Joshua Boatsi. I don't think they'll put him with Boatsi or Cannon Smith just yet, obviously. But there's those guys, and there's some international guys as well. They can get him in with Dion Nicholson. They could probably get him in with as well. Where I've heard that Dion Nicholson is looking for an opponent because Artur Beterbiev has pulled out, or the fight's been not pulled out, but the fight's been cancelled, is what I read on his Instagram today. So I don't know what the details are, why it's been cancelled. Some people are thinking Beterbiev is going to go straight into a Bivol trilogy fight because Bivol's still on the recovery, but they think by the time it gets round, he'll be fine. Or they're looking for a better opponent than Dion Nicholson because they think Dion's not good enough for the November 22nd card? Yeah, November 22nd card. So, yeah, more details I'll have to find out about that. Next sort of topic is Chris Billen-Smith versus Roman Fress. Now, Roman Fress, he's born in Kazakhstan. He bases himself out of Germany. His record is 23-1 with 13 KOs. His only loss is to Armand Hoxhadge, who I remember Chris Smith took out in 5 rounds. I had a bit of a pickle with him up until they knocked him out like clean with a big combination, a series of hooks in the 5th round. That same Hoxhadge who beat Roman Fres, the only person to beat him on points. Yeah, he lost to Bill Smith, got TKO'd in 5. Hussein Sin Cara knocked him out in 2 rounds, and Mastinek took him out in 4 rounds. So, Roman Fres is not the best. He's beats quite a few unbeaten guys, but they're normally like 7-0, 8-0, things like that. And Fres has had 24 fights. So he's not beat a few unbeaten guys, but they have had not many bouts. So none of them are really of note. Well, they're not of note to me. So, competition level is a bit suspect, but it is what it is. He's the guy who's in line for the WBO interim title against Chris Smith. They went to purse bids, and it was a no show. It was declared deserted by the WBO as nobody bidded for it at all, not one person. So why Ben Shalom and Boxer didn't bid for this? Chris Smith's their fighter, a former world champion of theirs who has defended his title a couple of times, fought in a unification on Latino night. You didn't think to bid for your guy. No one thought to jump in and bid for this fight. I've heard that the minimum bid requirement was 300k, so they didn't think they could make that. If they stuck it down in Bournemouth, surely they could have got that money back. Don't necessarily have to put on a mad undercard, just put on some local guys. But hey, nobody bidded. So the WBO will reconvene and determine the next steps. I don't know what they're going to do there. They might scrap it. They might have to set the bar lower where the fighters are going to, I don't know. Is it an 80-20 split? Is it 50-50? But yeah, I guess nobody sees it worth as 300k. Probably isn't really. But hey, it is what it is. But even with this Roman Fres, he's not even like the best rated German boxer. The number one guy in cruiserweight in Germany is Hussein Sin Cara, who's fighting Jaya Pataya on December the 6th in Australia. And then second is 55-year-old former cruiserweight champion Firat Arslan. So if you're behind a man who's 55, it's not looking too promising. But he was a decent amateur. Beat a couple guys, lost to notably Joseph Ward and Gary Sweeney in the amateurs. Roman Fres. So we'll see how that goes. Also, Ricky Hatton had his funeral today. Massive turnout, and lots of people attended. So yeah, it's looked like a great send off, and wishing the Hatton family all the best, and hope they can, things will never be the same, but things will get easier over time. Tyson Fury, he's been getting a lot of stick online, I've seen, because of the suit he's wearing where he's got the picture of his face on it. But people have to remember Tyson's from Lancashire, which is considered Greater Manchester. Him and Ricky Hatton were actually very good friends. Remember, they both like a drink. They're both from the Greater Manchester area. I remember even a video where Ricky Hatton's with Fury and he's wearing one of them suits with his face on it, and Ricky Hatton's like taking the mick out of him, like, oh, look at this, like he's proper made some, Ricky Hatton's he's got the wisecrack, he's made the jokes, he's like made banter out of it. So Fury's probably wore it as a thing of, I know my friend's looking down on me. He's going to be like, look at this rascal of a suit at my funeral, like, so he's still got to make it about yourself. Like, he's not doing it in malice, Fury's gone through mental health struggles himself, so he knows what Ricky's gone through, and they say he who feels it knows it. So people giving Fury a hard time, there's a lot of things where I say Fury does silly things and he winds me up, but this is not one of them. It's just like, come on, have something better to do. Don't always be negative and bad vibes. The man's, come on, no, come on. That's all I can say. Um, so yeah, in other news, um, talking about bad news, it's been a very terrible week for young boxers in boxing this week. First off, a couple of days ago, I reported about here it is. So about Tyrone Welch, he's from Saginaw in Michigan, which is where Jermaine Franklin's from. That's where I knew that area, Saginaw in Detroit. It's meant to be a rough area, um, not far from Grand Rapids, where Floyd Mayweather is from. So amateur boxing, Tyrone Welch, 22, passed early Sunday morning, October 5th, after a boxing match on Saturday at the Golden Gloves. At the Gideon Boxing Club on Hancock Street in Saginaw, Michigan. Welsh left the fight in the second round after not feeling well and required immediate medical attention, which led to him being taken to hospital. The Gideon Boxing Club is a non-profit organization that provides a place of belonging and membership for young adults in the Saginaw, Michigan area. The Gideon Boxing Academy operates like any gym with an annual membership and monthly usage fees. Welsh reportedly began boxing training between ages 16 and 17. Shirley Welch, Tyrone's mother, told the media that she felt frustrated about the amount of medical assistance provided at the boxing event and the trainer's insistence that Tyrone continue fighting. She also stated that she wished CPR had been performed more quickly. Miss Welsh also expressed concern for better safety protocols in amateur boxing. Tyrone's autopsy is expected to determine the cause of the passing, and this will not negate the urgent need for appropriate first aid and medical assistance at all boxing events, regardless of whether the event is amateur or professional. I thought that, over here, I know that amateur boxing coaches are required to be first aid trained. There was amateur coaches I know that was doing their renewal when I was doing my boxing first aid renewal. Um, like was it about was it in August? Yeah, in August. So a couple months ago. Yeah, there was amateur coaches with us, professional coaches. There was guys like there was pro coaches there and amateur coaches all doing their first aid course. So I know over here it's a requirement by the Alliance Federation and the England Boxing Federation (ABA), as well as the British Boxing Board of Control. So I'm not sure. I know in America, state to state, it's a bit different. So I do think that is something they would need to look into. That is very unfortunate. I know I saw in the comments somebody was upset that the coach insisted on the guy fighting. Still, I don't know the circumstances. Sometimes, it can be a thing of he might be saying, "Oh, I don't feel all right," but the coach is thinking, "Oh, he needs to just get pushed. He needs to just be brave," not knowing that it's actually, a very serious matter. Um, what the fighter is dealing with. Um, so yeah, all I can do is wish condolences to the Welsh family at this time. And then the same day, I found, later on that day, the news of the legend Hall of Famer Arturo Gatti, his son, Arturo Gatti Jr. He passed away from suicide. He was found in a Mexican apartment via sort of hung. They say I just men's mental health is a serious thing. He was only how old was he? I believe he was only 17, and it was 16 years ago that Arturo Gatti was mysteriously, they say suicide, but other people. And I saw a documentary. I think it was more foul play from the woman he was with out in Brazil. Um, it's very very tragic indeed what's happened. Um, some people think it's foul play with the son as well. I don't know if more details come to light, but that's what they've said. The Gatti family, very well known in boxing. Gatti grew up, had his amateur career in Montreal in Canada. The family originally from Italy, the name Gatti. You should be able to kind of guess that. But then Arturo Gatti, talking about senior, then from Canada moved to New Jersey, and that's where he, became a star out there in Atlantic City, Jersey. And that was like Vegas before Vegas. That's has it's got the Ferris wheel and the theme parks and all that good stuff. So yeah, very sad indeed. Quickly, just briefly, we'll talk about what's going on this week. So, oh well, first of all, we'll talk Badu Jack. His fight has been scheduled for December 13th against Noel McCallion. So the rematch that has been ordered and by the WBC, and then we've got Jao Pataya versus Hussein Sin Cara on December the 6th. This weekend, tomorrow this weekend on Saturday we've got Jaron Ennis versus Usima Lima, who's Portuguese and he's Angolan, fights out of Portugal in forgot what part, but yeah, he's fighting tomorrow in the Philadelphia for Lima's IBO light middleweight championship, what they call junior middleweight, super welterweight, whatever they call it. It's so confusing these days. But I remember seeing Lima fight Aaron McKenna at York Hall. They had the scores quite wide, but I thought it was a lot closer. Lima can definitely fight, so this will be a good fight. And he's beat a couple of unbeaten guys, took him out recently, and he's won the IBO title. So this is a good first fight for Boots Ennis in his first debut at light middleweight. We've got Dave Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Seen the weigh-in. I feel that Dave Allen will win this. I think he'll stop him. Arslanbek Makhmudov, he's a big lump, scary, intimidating looking, but I think he lacks the heart. We've seen him stopped a couple of times now. If you're brave enough and you can just stick it on him, he will fade. He will go. I know that Ajit Caballero took him out in 4. He got took out in about 8 rounds by I forgot who the other guy was took him out. But yeah, so I think Dave Allen could probably take him out in about 6, 7 rounds. If it goes past 9, Dave starts to fade himself. I know that he's really trained hard for this, looks in good shape, but probably the years of messing around, fraffing around, he won't. After 9, the power will fade, and he'll just start winging or whatever, and it probably, I don't know, it's all up in the air for points from there, ain't it? I haven't seen Makhmudov go really late on to determine if he carries power late or if he loses his shape, etc. But I do feel that Dave Allen will win in about 6, 7 rounds. I've got Jaron Ennis winning. I think he'll probably he should. Man, I don't know, because Lima's really very tough as well, But I'm gonna say Boots stops Lima in about 9 or 10. In about 9 or 10 rounds, Boots should stop him. You've got Junaid Boston versus Bilal Fawaz. That was a robbery last time out. They gave it a draw. I felt Fawaz won. Eddie Hearn even thought Fawaz won. I feel Fawaz will win a decision this time out, even though it is in Junaid Boston's hometown in Sheffield, which he asked for last time out. Oh, Eddie, give me this, give me that. So Eddie's giving him all this. He's been running for about a year or something like that, or 10 months or to a year. If he gets beat now, then he's toasted. We got Hamza Udin fighting for the English title versus Paul Roberts. So that'll be a good fight, and that's flyweight. Yeah, flyweight, and then you got Josh Padley versus Reese Bellotti on the card also. With the Boots Ennis card, there's a good heavyweight fight on there, is that Viello? Jaron Ennis. This is a good heavyweight fight. This is the only other fight really I'm looking forward to on the card is Alex Barrieri, which is the guy who I don't know if it was it because it's still not confirmed who actually cut Fury before that first Usyk fight. So it's him versus Guido Vianello. That's going to be a really good fight because Alex Bieri is 12-0, 10 knockouts, southpaw, 6'4" from Canada, Quebec, and Guido Vianello is 13-3-1 with 11 KOs. So both big punchers. He's from Italy, 6'6" from Italy, but based out of Las Vegas. He knocked. That's it. He knocked out Arslan Makhmudov in 8 rounds. So that's going to be interesting. He lost to F.A. Jagba on points, Jonathan Rice, TKO, and Richard Torres on points as well. But gave a really good account of himself against Richard Torres, to be fair. So that's a real good toss-up fight. Who am I going to go with? I'm going to pick Alex Barrieri. You got Giorgio Visoli fighting a guy, James Wilkins, on the card. I don't know who that guy is, but yeah, all the other people are not really known to me. So yeah, there we have it. And hope you're all good. And I will be probably doing a live watch along tomorrow for the Boots Ennis and Usma Lima card. So look out for that. Until then, it's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV Live. And remember, guys, persistence beats resistance. You know where it is.